right, Your Honor. Mr. Livingston, he has about 3 cases. Would you like to hear them in order?
Yeah, yes. Let's go ahead.
All right, let's start with the first case. He was caught at Mays Bank trying to cash some counterfeit checks. Once approached, he attempted to flee.
That's what I'm
How
saying,
we
bro. Look,
looking,
bro.
bro?
Look, bro. Before we go in there, bro. Listen, bro. Just do
For
what I
that
just
case,
told you,
we
my
are
nigga. You
recommending a
feel me?
sentence of
Do
I
what
got
you
you.
135
do,
months
bro.
and a
Do
fine
what
of
I just told you, bro. Come on, my
$150,000.
nigga. I need you, bro. I need you, bro.
And
Cause
the
if
next
not,
one.
bro, I already told you, bro. You got that white
For his
Bentley.
second
You
arrest,
feel
he
me?
was caught
I like it.
burglarizing a home. The officers noticed that there was a red sports car parked in a driveway of an unoccupied house, and so they
I
waited
ain't never
across the
say that, my
street.
nigga.
Of
I
course,
ain't never
Mr.
say that.
Lowenstein came outside with a duffel bag full of items and a few items that were stolen in his hands as well.
Alright, alright.
Caught him
Got that on me right now,
with his
nigga.
hand in the cookie jar. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Next. What's the next one?
So for that second one, we are
Okay, I'm
recommending
sorry.
a sentence of 140 months and a
Okay.
fine of $150,000.
Okay.
All right, and that brings us to his third arrest, which was a couple of weeks after that second one. In this particular incident, officers were responding to shots fired in Stab City. When they arrived on the scene, they noticed the individual running away from said scene, which was our defendant. He proceeded to flee on an ATV, and the officers opened fire due to the hostile environment of that
Of
area.
course. Of course.
He was transported for medical treatment at Mount Zona, and we're recommending a sentence of 120 months and a fine of $200,000 for that third arrest.
In total, how, where we at with that?
So, for the total of all 3 arrests, we're looking at a 395 months and a fine of $500,000.
Okay. Mr. Mr. Mitchell, 3 times. You're arrested 3 times. The defense. How do you feel about the charges that's been held against your client?
Before I make that case, could I have the prosecutor and myself talk to you at the front?
Absolutely. Come on up.
Mama, I did it. I did chicken out. Doesn't it look so cute?
I do believe if he's pleading guilty, he's going to get that ankle monitor off and go on up the bowling point.
Can't see anything yet.
Judge, do you mind shouting? I can't hear you.
Apologize. It seems that he
Sorry.
was whispering, so
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sorry.
sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, that monitor is gonna come off as he will most definitely be entering board of corrections.
Okay. Um. All right. I'll just. Yeah, we're gonna have to plead guilty. It's. I appreciate y'all taking a look at the case, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Trying to get you off.
Okay.
It ain't happening,
Really quick,
man.
we'll give her a
There's
moment
too many
for a
charges
second.
back
Let
to
me
back.
look at my files for a second.
I'm finna have to do 390
Prosecution.
months.
What What was his sentencing recommendation again?
The total of all 3 arrests would be 395 months and a
Okay.
fine of $500,000.
Okay. And you did say that he had a point of counterfeiting, correct?
His first arrest was counterfeit checks,
Yeah. Okay.
and all of
And
his
this.
crimes escalated in nature.
Okay. And what was the second one again?
The second fine was home burglary.
Okay. Okay. Just sticking to that first one. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Officers, you can go ahead and take Mitchell Lowenstein into custody. Get him down to LSPD. Get him a nice little orange suit for him.
All right. So you make sure you be on good behavior, and we still gonna try and get you out. See if we can't get some type of leniency or something.
All right, man.
Dang, I wish we could have got.
Oh, that shit down, gang.
Dang.
I'm gonna have you follow me through here, please.
All right.
Man.
Them boys going up that road.
Ooh, don't be so hostile.
Okay.
Not too
JD
hard, not too hard.
Mamo versus San Andreas. JD Mamo here.
Hmm?
Okay, so it's no JD. All right.
You trying to get right here, big fella? I'm blocking your way.
Yeah.
My bad.
Manson versus San Andreas.
Oh, you got Lamar, right, Tyler?
Yep.
Okay, prosecution. You can go ahead with your proceedings.
Thank you, Your Honor. For Mr. Manson, we do have him for 2 different arrests. I'll start with the first.
Okay.
So for his first arrest, he's charged with evading grand theft auto, a gun with no license. He was spotted in the area of 2 drug sales. When approached by the officers, he attempted to flee by stealing a local's car, at which time that local stood their ground and immediately began firing at the defendant. He was apprehended by the officers.
Okay.
For that first one, we're recommending a sentence of 30 months and a fine of $80,000.
Okay.
For his second arrest, he was observed driving recklessly when signaled by PD to pull over. The defendant ignored, leading them on an official pursuit for about 5 minutes. Officers were finally able to detain the defendant after several pit maneuvers were performed around Legion Square. The defendant eventually hopped out of the vehicle and proceeded to flee by foot, on which the officers tased and detained him. For that one, we're recommending a sentence of 105 months and a fine of $130,000, $500.
Okay. Hey, just want to make sure I understand. The second one is he was evading, basically evading.
Yes, he was driving recklessly, and then once he was signaled to pull over, he decided to lead them on a chase.
Okay, back to the first one again. I'm just thinking about the months that we're doing here. What was
All right.
You said he was in some kind of altercation.
He was in an area of 2 drug sales.
Okay.
And when approached by officers for questioning, he attempted to flee.